If you're new here, welcome. This is what a real trading week looks like. It's not just wins, it's not just losses, but everything in between. Because this week was an active one. The ideas were there, the bias was there, the execution, just a little mixed. Overall, we had a break even, a partial winner, few trades I didn't take, and trades that I missed.
Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches.
And that's exactly what I want to show you. If you don't want to watch the full breakdown, that's okay. The chapters are right below here. But if you do want to understand how trading works week to week, let's get right into it. It is your boy back with another live trading video. Before I get into the video, I just wanted to show you what I actually took yesterday. I took an AUDUSD long. AUD had a score of a 1 yesterday, and here's the breakdown behind it. So I had two options. I had the AUDUSD long, and then this was a break-even trade, or I had an AUDCAD long, and let me show you why I chose AUDUSD over AUDCAD. Obviously on Monday we had a little bit of a push up with Trump talking about peace talks, and we all know that peace talks are usually negative for the dollar, and my idea was bringing price up into a short overall, because overall we are bearish on AUDUSD right now, and obviously you'd want to sell from a premium here. So intraday, what do we need to see? The break of structure on the M5, M3 after sweeping the lows and looking good on the M15, which we did. So on the M15 yesterday, this is what we were looking at. We created a fair value gap over here, and I entered right around, I believe it was 1038. Now on this trade, I actually managed it a little bit differently than I normally would. If you've seen my channel before, you know I talk about 1130 break even rule. And right now, with us having a time change and Europe not having their time change yet, it's extended to 12:30. However, why did I change it yesterday? For this explanation, we actually dropped down to the 30-second chart. So when I was looking at this chart, I was just chilling. I knew that we were in a little bit of drawdown. I think I was 0.2% down, which I'm completely fine with around this time. It was 1050. We know that a reversal could usually happen. I always joke about it in other videos. But price spiked like crazy. It just launched upwards within a minute. So it was up 1%. And my thoughts were, okay, there could be a chance that there is some war, some Iran talks. If price could go up this violently, I was on the lucky side because it went up. It could also go down that violently, which I was not really okay with. So because I was already 1% up, I didn't close or anything, but I thought price could easily launch and to take profit up here. Right around here is when I decided to go break even or take me a break even, which it did probably about 9 minutes later. And luckily enough I did, because I would have been taken out later. I did mention that I was looking at AUDCAD as well, because we still have the bearish CAD bias. And let me show you what happened with that trade, why I did not take it. So I was a little bit interested, but then on the M3, this started to build a mega trend line, which I was not really a fan of, in which price would have still taken profit. So I had two regions on where I could have got in on this trade, and here's what actually happened. The same Iran stuff right here caused a little bit of a spike, but because CAD is super weak, price would have not taken this trade out. However, my 1230 rule would have kicked in here and I would have been taken out at break even, but I don't like this price action here. This is way too corrective. You need a stronger move on the M5 and the M3. And the M3 on this trade looked like this. Do you want to get into a trade with the M3 looking like this?
What's that?
I know this is a beautiful move right here. The remainder was not. We want momentum. So what are we actually looking at for today? All right, let's show you. We still have the bearish CAD bias. I'm not really going to be looking at AUDCAD too much, because AUD is showing a -9 score right now because their CPI came in worse than expected for their dollar. EURCAD is retracing right now. Could it react from here? Possibly. Could it react from here? Possibly. This would be the best reaction zone. Other currencies against the CAD. GBPCAD. GBP is not the strongest on the fundamental side of things, but it is a little bit stronger than the CAD. Could it react from around here? Yes. Could it react from here? Yes, it could. NZDCAD, which is something I have a little bit of my eye on. We have kind of stacked highs here. Could I see a move from here? Yes, I could, but it'd be probably better if we saw a move from around here. And USD pairs, they're not looking the greatest, to be honest with you. We're in a little bit of a range here on EURUSD. On GBPUSD, we're building a trend line over here. I would want the longs from down here. I could see AUD taking this low while the others don't take it. Okay, so we've had a little bit of movement on NZDCAD. One of the negatives I have on this trade though is, okay, positives. We just swept Asia low very, very tightly. Like, this is not the greatest sweep. We front run 0.80, so that's actually two negatives right here. The M15 is going to close lovely very, very soon. M3 break of structure, obviously you have here, but we don't have an actual false move. Well, given that we barely swept Asia here, like it obviously swept enough for me to get the notification that there was a sweep here. I'm not too much of a fan of that. The other one being that we were so close to 80 big figure right here. If we would have tapped into that, that would have been great. And obviously if we would have targeted these highs, what would this trade look like? Assuming that you were able to neglect all the rules that I have, because obviously everyone trades differently. This is what it would look like if you were to get in. But also another thing, when you know about weak highs and weak lows, we are kind of still in this little bit of a range here, which I'm not too much of a fan of. This right here is a yucky range that we're in. I like to play the edges, which is why I had my drawings right here. That is 3 negatives right there. Let's take a look at other pairs though, to see if those are decent or not. EURCAD. Ooh, this could be okay. 159, 500, big region right here. Hourly within this fair value gap. I am fully aware that this could go lower. I'm fully aware that this could go to this zone right here. Let's see how the M5 closes. If it closes with a nice fair value gap, which we have one right here that we have developed. M3, how are we looking? Pretty decent. And let's see if there's momentum on the M1 as well. M1, yeah, this is decent momentum. This is something I could take. One of the more important things about this move is if I was going to take it, it has to have a good 1030 close. How are we looking in the M15 right now? We're looking pretty decent. I would like the 1030 close to be at least above this fair value gap. Not too much of a top wick, but right now I'm liking this price action. Obviously reacting out of this zone right here. When you get fair value gap inception, it just gives a little bit more confidence for the trade. All right, this thing is going to close in about 4 seconds. Let's see how it looks on the M15. Drum roll. We closed above. We are happy to take this. Out of curiosity, obviously I'm not going to take NZDCAD, but where is it right now? Too many negatives with that one though. We're obviously not tagged in yet, but one of the good things about this trade is that at this 1045 close, we have completely created this beautiful M15 fair value gap as well. So we have a little bit of fair value gap inception even further now. Not just on the M5, not just on the M3, but on the M15 as well. Order flow showing that EUROCAD is bullish. My tools show that Euro is a little bit bullish, but CAD is very bearish. We just have to hope that it comes down and tags us. We came down aggressively and we are tagged in this trade. Fingers crossed, turns out okay. My entry point was 653, so target to the TP is about 2.1 R. We came down pretty aggressively. I'm just hoping that, assuming it came down aggressively, it launches up aggressively. That's how these things turn out sometimes. And if I'm wrong, that means that price is going for more of a discount. One thing that I also want to show some people, obviously a lot of the videos that I've put out have shown longs and the longs winning or getting at least 1%, which isn't a full win, but it's better than nothing, right? But one of the things I want to show you is that I used to struggle seeing longs, and I used to always be way better at seeing the short. And if you also struggle with this is one thing that you can do on TradingView. If you're in a Windows, I believe you press Alt-I and it inverts your chart. So if you're someone who sees shorts a little bit better than longs, that's something that you could actually consider here. So assuming that you're looking at the short, obviously here's a supply zone, here's the break of structure, here's the fair value gaps and stuff. This is where you'd enter if you actually see shorts, but I'm used to both now. It's just a little hack. Okay, let's see how this M15 close is going to be. Right now, this is a little bit of a rejection, but let's see if we actually tapped into the fair value. Oh, beautiful. If we tap into this fair value gap like we just did here, and we reject from it, that's a pretty good close, which we absolutely love to see. Look at that rejection right there. Complete rejection of that fair value gap. Hopefully we continue to launch upwards. Once again, break-even rules are when we start to make higher highs and higher lows, or 1230. So far, this M15 is probably going to also close within here, which is not the greatest. USD is actually showing a lot of strength right now. If you would have taken this same setup on EURUSD, you would have lost, obviously, because USD is stronger. And if you want to confirm that, look at USDCAD. USDCAD absolutely is ripping right now. We just have to trust our analysis, and if we're wrong, so be it. You've seen that I've taken this same setup on many of my videos. Because it's my edge, it works more often than not, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be perfect. It's not going to be 100%. There will be times where it fails, which could be today. What do we have carrying us right now? These fair value gaps, which is also, like I said, an M15 fair value gap. We have another 30 minutes until we can go break even or close out the trade if it's in drawdown. Okay, now we're coming down a little bit hard. So this looks like, yeah, look at that M3. But once again, this setup isn't always going to be a winning setup, which is completely fine as long as it wins longer over time. And looks like on the day, divergence is not going to be our friend as well, because had I picked NZDCAD, this had so many reasons for me not to take it though. We would be in, but not in drawdown. What is up, everyone? Just back from a quick little lunch here. It looks like we're so far safe, but it's going to be a break even most likely, because we all know that I moved my stop losses to break even at 12:30. I literally left for my lunch at this candle, and I guess price just wanted to wait until I left. Okay, so it is basically 12:30 and we are officially risk-free. Yeah, we are risk-free on this trade. Thought I was gonna die, but this is definitely a break even. Most likely, we're so close to it. One thing to take note of is average trade duration. I talked about in the video that I just dropped today off of last week how my trade duration is on average between 20 minutes and 2 hours. Currently, we have been in this trade for 1 hour and a half. How we're gonna manage it in 30 minutes, I don't know. I want to go on with my day and go to the gym, get swole. We're not just making trading gains, we're making gains. I've already journaled this as a break-even trade. Anything else that happens afterwards is just a bonus. The M15 close, how's it gonna look? Well, this is how our M15s are looking. Actually, this one that I was worried about before lunch, look at how it closed within this fair value gap. Giving more confidence on this trade. So I think I'm just gonna leave this. I'll put an alert right here, just so I know what's going on. M5 chop. Who's excited? Speaking of chop, who's excited for GTA 6? Make sure you level up on your trading before playing that game, okay? Make a promise with me. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be heading to the gym. We've been in the trade for over 2 hours. We're up just 0.5%, which is decent. If I didn't believe in this trade fully, I would just close out now for a base hit. And I do believe in base hits. But with the Fundys, look at CAD score. Euros is a little bit better. We're just following bullish order flow. This is the same play that you guys have seen time and time again in the live trading. So we're just gonna stick through it. And if we break even, we break even. I will update after the gym. What is up, everyone? We just got back from the gym and it looks like we are still in the trade. I did get a notification when I was at the gym that this point was hit, meaning that price was up around 1% for a little bit before it actually came down. And I did say that these zones it could react from. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the decision to just cash this base hit in. It's 0.4%, which is more than I woke up with. Remember, at one point I thought that we were gonna die.
Oh my god, I almost died! I almost died! That was so scary, thank you!
We were down about 0.6%, so base hits all add up. Obviously, this trade lasts way longer than most of my others. So without further ado, we've closed out. This is better than nothing, obviously. We cleared the zone that I talked, which could spark a reaction. And obviously this reaction down is something that I don't think that it's gonna go up within 1 hour, 20 minutes before market closes. So might as well cash in 0.45R. We're up on the month, we're up on the week. Base hits add up, remember that. One thing that I did want to show was NZDCAD. NZDCAD actually did end up hitting what would have been take profit, but I'm completely fine with that because like I said, we would have had to wait for the M15 close. Price would have probably just missed our entry, like even worse than our miss from last week. It would have hit take profit while I was at the gym, but there were so many negatives against it. Once again, we had so many reasons to not get in, which is why EURCAD was the better trade in my opinion. Obviously price did not cooperate, which it doesn't always have to. Good morning YouTube, we are back with another live trading video. Right now I'm seeing a little bit of early false moves. Let's talk about what I was looking at in the charts today. I am strong USD bias, but this price action is not really showing me that it is very strong USD. So because it's going down so corrective and we're seeing a little bit of a trend line develop here, I usually use these trend lines to target against, especially when it gets like more than 2 taps, right? I call this the falling elevator theory. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people can hop into an elevator, but the more people start getting in, the more potential it has to actually fall. Very similar on Euro, same kind of play, same kind of idea. Same thing as NZD, we're very deep in this region right now. And same as AUD, which already swept a big low, but AUD score is in the negatives right now for the first time that it has been in a while this year. AUD is the least likely to pop up, but see if price action looks clean. Okay, let's look at the charts now that unemployment news has come out. And first, let's see what actually happened with unemployment claims. So, unemployment claims came in just a little bit better than expected. Nothing too significant, but it's still going to show up as better on our charts, which is the reason why it's showing a little bit of a push here. Like I said, I felt that this was a false move here, this little push, as you can see across the board. So we're going to get that beautiful sweep of this, and then we could look for our real longs. I suspect that GBP today might be the one that offers a good play. AUD is just a little too weak on the fundamentals, but we're still gonna watch this. All right, we're getting alerts now on GBPUSD, which I'm assuming means that it swept the low. Beautiful. And tell me if you've watched my videos. What do I wait for now? Yeah, I gotta let the Jeopardy theme song cue. Yep, we're looking for this break of structure right now. We have a decently untapped area right above here on the hourly. We have Asia liquidity above, so that could be a target assuming this trade pans out. If it doesn't, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Okay, GBP is moving up. I did say that this was probably going to be one of the currencies that I was going to be looking at for longs on. So we'll see what happens. We're going to need the beautiful close here. We're going to need good M5, M3 momentum, and potentially, yeah, M3 looks pretty good so far. Let's see how it looks on the M1. A little bit corrective, just a little bit. This is a decent one here. This is okay. A little bit more momentum needed. Nice M15 close. What do we need to wait on? We need to wait on the closure above here and the M15 closure above here as well. How are we looking on the M15 so far? Which is going to close very shortly. We still want to close past. We don't want any of this top wick stuff. What would be absolutely crazy though is if this was right to the pip where I drew my initial drawing right here. This low, so far we are looking like we're going to have a good M15 close. The M1 I could fall. I'm okay with that. 361 minimum entry here on GBPUSD, assuming we close above like we're probably going to do in 1 minute. Price just has to retrace and then we're going to look for the long. We are currently about a stop loss away.
Come back here!
Thank you, Andre Rule. Andre, if you're watching this, shout out to the Andre Rule. And being 100% transparent here, if I was actually in this trade, I don't know if I would have probably closed up. Would I have? And just like that, we're gonna journal GU as a miss. It was unfortunate. The M5 break was not a convincing enough one for me to actually take this. I don't know if I would have had to wait for the M15 actual close, but this right here is a 2% miss. We called the move, we just didn't get the retracement, unfortunately. Well, technically we did get a little bit of a retracement after that tiny M5 break, but it was not convincing enough. It has to be convincing enough. I could technically look at a short on AUDUSD, a continuation short, but it's in such a discount that I'm kind of turned off against it. There's no big FVGs. Obviously the orange man is saying stuff, which leads into a little bit more war talk, which you could see some sell-off. Price is coming down pretty aggressive. What I'm thinking of is I am thinking of getting into NZDUSD. Fundamentals are okay for NZD. Obviously I had the long bias earlier, but I feel like a lot of the targets may have been met. We have a big shift on the M5 here, a pretty big one. Looks good on the M3 as well. How are we looking on the M? No, M1 overrides here. This is too balanced on the M1. Obviously, this was when Trump spoke about Iran, obviously, which is stronger for US dollar because he's talking about how he doesn't really want to make a deal. But these candles are a little bit balanced here. If I was actually interested in NZDUSD, I would be tagged in right now, but I'm not going to take it. And why is that? Alright, talked about the M1 not looking good enough. You have, when you're taking a trade like this, you have to see like momentum within the M1 as well. When it is corrective, when it is balanced, when you don't see any like pretty intense candles, obviously this could drop. I just don't like it. M3 had a decent one here. M5 obviously has a great fair value gap, but this is all made off of corrective price action down, like balanced price action on the way down. For it to be cautious of those, especially because we are in a little bit of a discount. This would have just been a play to bring price down, assuming USD strength did kick in, which obviously momentarily did with whatever Trump was saying. I'll keep everyone posted on how this one goes. However, this one's not going in the journal because I already have my reasons for it. I honestly forgot to keep filming this. I was working on editing another thing, but would have worked. Again, targeting the old low on Monday. M1 just wasn't good enough, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's Friday.
Happy Fun Coupon Friday, YouTube. It's your boy back with another live trading video, and this is the end of the week. This is the Friday. This is what we are looking at for today. Okay, let's go starting with USD pairs. Ordering this from strongest to weakest, just off of the daily technicals. Let's go with Euro. Euro, I expected to sweep the low, probably do a false move, and then a real continuation afterwards. This could actually look decent because when are we okay with taking a trade without the false move? When it looks good on the M15, and boy does that look pretty good. So I'll probably be getting in that one soon. I'll just have to play around with it. AUDUSD, I mentioned, could either long from here. The idea with these are Friday sell-off. USD has been pretty strong this week, and yeah, Friday sell-off, I believe that AU could launch from here. I don't like all the liquidity that it's built up, so probably gonna ignore that. NZD swept the previous daily low. Obviously we had this that we were looking at yesterday, but the M1 looked pretty trash here, and I already missed out on GU. Could have been a revenge trade, so I chose not to take it. This could break soon, but this is not looking great. And GBPUSD could break soon, but not looking great. Just going with the divergence, I do think that Euro is probably going to be the best bet. Where would the target be? I have no idea. Let's play around with that. If we target Asia, we could get about 2.3R. Obviously, I could adjust the position upwards a little bit depending on how the M5s close, right? One thing to note of for sure though is we have 2 hourly fair value gaps that we'll have to battle against, so we'll have to manage our position within here. Obviously, the 4 hour is going to close very soon with a bottom wick from this region here. Let's see if that is good enough. But yeah, look at that M15, it's a decent one. Obviously we might be getting a rejection from within here, so I think I'm gonna look at the lower time frames on the M1 and see how it reacts. That's the only different thing that I'll do today.
It was at this moment he fucked up.
See, on the M5, these fair value gaps are pretty nice, but we're gonna wait on M1 reactions from within, and maybe our target doesn't have to be that high, that Asia high. If we look at the M1, the M3 does look good. And how's the M1 looking within these? Some fair value gaps in there. It's decent, especially these ones. These ones are pretty good ones. This would be one of my earliest trades of the year if I took it. One of the updates to the Fundys thing is as well, GBP is now scoring as a 9. I just haven't updated this yet because we do have USD consumer sentiment news later, so I'll just wait to update this after that's done. So I'm not updating it right now for just GBPUSD and then waiting on the US updated score. I'd rather just do them all at once, and then later on today, once we get the new COT, we're gonna get the new COT longs, shorts, net positioning, and the quadrant stuff. Now what will make this trade invalid is if we already take London high without me. If we pop up and then down, I'm fine. If we pop up, I'm not interested anymore. CAD side of things, because we have weak CAD, I was also looking at similar plays. AUD obviously did not get down there. EURCAD is flying. too strong almost. GBPCAD, well, this could be decent. This could very well be decent as well. We're just going to see how that M15 is going to create a little bit of fair value gap. This is something to take note of. What I'm going to do here, so we have a fair value gap. How does it look like on other time frames? That's key. Good on the M3. No false move, no false move. Keep that in mind though. M1 is decent. Where would the target be? Well, because GBP is strong, is showing a little bit more strength now on the Fundys side of things, just not showing it fully on the technical. What we're gonna do here is the target would probably be around here or probably Asia if it makes it up there. Are these equals? No, it just swept just by a tiny bit. Could we maybe do something like this? Who knows? I'll just leave it there, but focus on Euro USD. While waiting on EURUSD to get into our zone, let me explain to you why I'm just looking at GBPCAD but not actually probably going to take it or anything. The reason being where it is on the highest time frame. Obviously I just got the notification off that. We are still in a little bit of a premium rate here. I want to take a little bit more of an A+ setup, and I know that this area could produce a beautiful long later on, maybe next week. There's a possibility of that. So obviously this would be tagged in right now with most of my rules in place. My gut feeling is overriding this right now though. There are some times where you just have gut feeling that something might not work out, and that's what I'm getting for this trade right here, which is why we're just going to focus on EURUSD. But obviously we would be tagged in right here had we taken this. And speaking of divergences, so look at Euro compared to all the other currencies. Here's GBPUSD, here's AUDUSD, and here's NZDUSD. Euro is clearly the strongest one on the day, other than USD, obviously. Also, because it is Friday, we have our Friday 1 hour roll rule, so we'll see if we even get in a trade first. 2, if it starts going up on us, because we always have the chance of losing, and 3, if we even make it that far. Something I want to address is that because I'm on Threads and because I'm also on Reddit as well, you know, just seeing what other traders are going through, giving advice, seeing if anyone could benefit from using Forexfundys, but a lot of people are trading NASDAQ, gold, etc. It's very clear to me that a lot of people are only trading technicals. And I'm seeing so many people say, why is the market moving like this? I don't understand. And this is why I built Forexfundys, for people to learn the fundamentals. It does not hurt to know the fundamentals, because this is what actually moves price. Your technicals can only go so far. Like, I know so many people who are brilliant with technicals and profitable. Heck, before making Forexfundys and just being a little bit ignorant, even though I have my econ degree, I was usually getting some winning setups with just the technicals, but Forexfundys has just made it my win rate even higher, opening up more opportunity for trading other minor currencies like the CAD pairs, for example, like the GBP pairs if it's showing strength or weakness. What I'd like to see here, so we got a nice little M3 push right there, which is lovely, is a little bit of a seller's trap. So obviously these are fair value gaps that we have to eventually beat, but to trick early sellers in, it would be lovely if this pushes price down and then we kind of play around within here, and off of the M1 moves is where I'll choose to get an entry point. I'm just showing you that it's in the zone right now. What I think will happen is price will fake launch and then head down a little bit deeper and then give us our lower time frame confirmation. Like I said, fake launch I think will happen before price gets down a little bit deeper. This trade's reminding me a little bit of the price action of one of my first trades, actually my first trade of the year, NZDUSD long, which was in January, where price was doing kind of similar things. I got in off the first entry and it gave multiple lower time frame entries from within drawdown range. GBPCAD, you'd be in a little bit of drawdown. Could it launch? It could still launch, but I don't have a good gut feeling on it. We're just gonna stick to EURUSD. I just got back from bathroom break and I see this, which is honestly better for our position. I just hope that price comes back down, because now it's formed an inducement right here. So early sellers will be looking at a move like this. I don't need the M1 confirmation within. I could just take it from here if it gets back down.
Come back here!
Alright, what did I say about the high being taken? It's no longer going to be valid to me. Might have been silly on me waiting on the M1 reaction. I legit thought that this was going to retrace a little bit deeper though. So that's on me. GBPCAD, I don't know. It's looking a little better now. At the highest time frame though. Like, I know it could react from here. We did sweep this little low here. This is the most probable. Right here, it could still be attracted to this fair value gap before selling down before the launch up. Honestly, something about this trade, I'd be mad if I took it and lost. If it wins, it's unfortunate. It is what it is, but it's one of those trades that if I take it and it loses, my gut's just telling me something about it. If we get a second leg, I'll be open to taking it. That's what we'll do here. Only because the M15 close is going to be a nice one. This is what the M15 is going to look like. We are very close to entry. I'm just looking to snipe it once it hits 159. I move the parameter to 159 from 151 because that makes London high 2R. We're getting close. We're getting close. We got really close there.
Come back here!
Might be another miss. Might be another miss. A little bit annoyed if this does launch up without.
I need my money!
Okay, if we were in this trade, obviously there's the 1R roll rule which would be applied, and we would have just got out, I believe, right there. It missed me by about 1.2 pips. I could have entered here. I had a gut feeling, which I'm completely okay with, but the secondary one actually did miss me. Euro though, I'm a little upset about because we called it. We called this move. We would probably be rolled out at 1% with the Friday 1R rule. I just thought that I would see more. GBPCAD would have also been 1R. It's not like it went to TP. This is going to be kind of like a little deja vu video from last Friday. I'm going to try doing my best to putting the whole week together like within a trade, so you're not seeing this trading video. I'll try putting them all in one. We have been seeing a lot more trades this week. Unfortunately, we only end off with 0.45%, which is way better than nothing. We thought we were going to lose that trade. GU yesterday was unfortunate that it just left without. And today I kind of got in my head. EU, I never wait on the lower time frame. That was a mistake. GBPCAD, I'm happy with my decision. Obviously, it did launch from the area that we talked about initially, but I waited on the confirmation from within because price did not look that clean. Obviously, it came 1.2 pips from tagging us in, and then she left. But it is what it is. We're near the end of the month. March has been pretty good to me still, but there were some lessons learned. When a trade like the NZDCAD one from last week happens, we're just gonna market execute. When a trade like this happens, and say this did come back, I was just gonna market execute. I know spread was a little bit awful on this pair, but we're just gonna market execute that because it should have the juice to just keep continuing up, right? So I'm gonna try chopping this video down as much as I can because there's quite a few trade analysis that have gone through these videos, with the main idea obviously being CAD weakness. Just a little follow up on GBPCAD over here. In the last NZDCAD video, I talked about how I could probably target a little bit higher, especially when the fundamentals are on my side, and maybe that's something that I should have incorporated here because GBPCAD actually ripped Asia high. I didn't think it would go that high. I thought that these were beautiful internal targets. The reason why I didn't think that price would go that high is because I thought that there would be a reaction here to bring price lower into a discount. If I would have known price would have been higher, I would have been okay with and obviously market executing around here and then just waiting on price to do his thing. Again, we journal that. We know that CAD's gonna experience weakness because that's what's on the Fundys score. We made Forexfundys for that reason. And it's a little bit of a learning lesson. I'm not perfect. I'm gonna still make mistakes. I've missed 4 trades in the last 8 days.
You think you can do this to me?
Some of them were my fault, like the EU one earlier. GU yesterday, I couldn't do anything about that, but maybe this one I could have approached it differently. And NZDCAD last week I could have approached differently with the spread stuff. Just journal your stuff and give yourself the best opportunity to be as profitable as you can. It's been your boy. Thank you again, and peace.